Oh, hey, what's going on? Are you mouse readers out there? What's going on? This is Mr. P. Silver. Oh yeah. My buddy Josh Games asked me to do an intro for the show because he knows I'm a huge fan. I'm a bigger fan of Revival House. Hey, what's up, Revival House? Revival House. I know, Riverman. And Zach. Oh, I love Zach. And Aaron. But I also like Jock James. What's up, Jock James? Oh. I just wanted to come on the show and say I love your show. I want to intro you.
Oh my god. This guy's a fucking oh man, he's a super uber fan of, I guess, what we do on the show. I think he's more of a fan of Revival House. Now, technically, R is somewhat related to Revival House because, well, mainly just because I go over there a lot, but also because I'm on another show called Hard to Kill Podcast, and our show is exclusively part of Revival. It's Hard to Kill Podcast, exclusively part of Revival House now. Me and my friend Neil and Alex from Skeleton Crew and Neil from NFW. We do this great action movie podcasts, commentaries mainly. Fucking hysterical, dude. The three of us, it's great chemistry. And Revival House picked us up over there. So I just want to say, Mr. P. Shivers, man, thank you so much for being a fan and for listening. But hey, welcome to JunkMail episode. God, what is this now? 4 or 5? Probably 5 or something. I haven't done one of these in a while. I'm really sorry. Actually, I haven't really been producing much. I haven't been producing a lot of content lately, and I'm really sorry about that, guys. I really am. I took on a new job, and I've been doing some creative freelance work, and I've been doing a little this, a little that. Staying very, very busy, trying to make some money, trying to get out of some debt. And sometimes you have to, look, I love R-rated. It's my baby. I coddle it in my arms. I swing it back and forth, and I give little kisses on its bubbly little cheek. But it's a fun. There's Lucy saying hello. It's a fun show. It's a release for me, but I had to take a little break because I had some other areas of my life that needed attending to. And thank fucking God, I could finally quit 2 jobs. I had 2 shitty jobs that I quit, and I got one really good one. And I'm actually making better money now, and things should pick back up, hopefully. And also, I'm not gonna lie, things have been a little dry since Wazell took his leave of absence from the show. Now, it's not a permanent leave of absence. It's not like he doesn't want to be on the show. He's definitely part of the show. But it's ironic because Wazell needed a break from the show to go start a new job himself and move and deal with his own life issues. And then shortly thereafter, my own life kind of went through the same sort of, it's just life. Life changes and you have to change along with it. And sometimes, some of your extracurricular activities have to take a back seat. And, but the funny thing is that even though we haven't been putting out content, it's not like I've been sitting around jiggling my balls through my pants the whole time. We've actually recorded 2 awesome interviews with 2 amazing actresses and another commentary. And it's just a matter of me being able to have the time to edit the shit together in a way that is good, Like, I want to do it. I want to give it attention. And right now, I don't have the intention to do it. I mean, it's on the docket. It's going to happen. Like, I'm excited to do it, but I want to do it when like editing for me and putting these things up on the internet. Like, the shows that are good are the shows that I really enjoy editing together. And these the content of these shows is so good that I want to do it at a time when I'm like really fucking into doing it and not rushing it to get it out. And you know, it's good to take a little break because then you come back and because sometimes when you run a podcast, you got, oh, I gotta get something every week or every 2 weeks, or some people do this shit every day. It just becomes monotonous and boring and, you know, typical run-of-the-mill shit. It's not really quality content. And I've got some juggernauts, you know, I got some really good shows that I want to edit together and be awesome. So basically what I'm doing is just waiting for things with my new job to kind of even out. I'm wrapping up a creative project that I've been working on with Aaron from Revival House, a movie he's working on, which I'm very proud of, and Aaron and I put a lot of work into it. And the director of this movie, Randall Plunkett, also involved, and we've been a lot of creative juices flowing, going back and forth, and we're in the last leg of doing this awesome creative project together, and it's just a small piece. It's what it is. It's they commissioned me to do some artwork for a project they're working on, and I've really been wanting it to go well, and so I've been investing a lot of my time in doing that. And I've had other commissions, artistic wise, that have really needed my attention. Customers, paying customers that need me to produce work for them. And podcasting friends as well, making requests for me to do artwork for their shows and stuff like that. And I love to do it. It's just that I'm being pulled in a million. I imagine an octopus, and every leg is being pulled in a different direction. It's kind of like what I feel like right now. And it's great. I'm not complaining. My life is fantastic. It's the best it's been in a really long time. But the problem is I just haven't really had time to really focus on editing. And I think that I want to just take a little break from R-rated for a while. And because I think I'm going to revamp the show. Horrorphilia.com just revamped. And R-rated is there. And all the classic archival shows are there. And thank you, Jason, so much for all the hard work you put into putting that show, you know, or not the show, but the website horrorphilia.com together, and keeping it going. Jason really put a lot of work into that. So thank you so much. So proud to be part of horrorphilia.com. But that being said, that whole website got revamped, and also ironically, like I've been trying to like work the details out in my head of like how I want to revamp R-rated, maybe going from R-rated horror commentary podcast to just the R-rated show, and becoming a little bit more YouTube centric. Now that's not to say that we won't do commentaries, because we'll definitely be doing commentaries, but I'm trying to grow this into more of a, well, I guess a more of a well-rounded gig. I mean, showing more parts of my personality, putting myself out there a little bit more, finding more listeners. I mean, I've been doing this show for almost 3 years now. I'm definitely grateful for the 310 subs we got, but it's been 3 years. And it's funny because like the last month we've had a huge spike, for us at least, a small YouTube channel, huge spike in listener subscriptions. Like we got, I think, 40 or something subs in the last month, which is incredible for this channel because it usually takes me 6 months to get 40 subs. And the reason why YouTubers like kind of watch that stuff is because we want to see how the general listening audience reacts. Now, I don't really know what kind of listenership we have on horrorphilia.com. I mean, the Horrorphilia family, they know about me and we cross over and do fun stuff together, but I don't really get a lot of feedback from Horrorphilia listeners. I mean, there's some hardcore regulars that, you know, follow the Twitter and follow the Facebook, stuff like that. And I hear like Raman, Jesus. Take another drink, Josh. Ram Man is a loyal listener. I think it's mainly because he's a Wazelle fan, but we appreciate him. But, we don't get a lot of random feedback from people. And, if there's anything that fucking a podcaster loves is feedback, good or bad. You want to know that you're actually interacting with people. So if you have any, please let us know. But what I'm trying to say, my whole point is that, I've been kind of sitting back and watching what's going on. We're on Horophilia, we're on iTunes, we're on Spotify, and, we're on YouTube. I'm just kind of looking at the landscape and rethinking, how can we make this show better? How can Josh James become a brand? How can R-Rated become a brand? How can I appeal to a larger, swath of people out there? And I do love horror, but I want to open it up more to other pop culture kind of things and get it involved in the conversation a little bit. And so, R-Rated is going to be revamping. I think I'm going to become a little bit more there'll be R-Rated show, which will be YouTube, and then there'll be the R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast, which is, going to be Horophilia content, but it'll be available on both platforms. So, there'll be like, right now, like R-Rated Horror's got like the subfolders of like, the original thought I had of R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast was like, we'll tackle franchises, and so there'll be like a Freddy pack, a Jason pack, a Michael pack, Chucky pack, and it didn't really work out that way. Like, I've got, 6 Friday pack, 6 Friday entries in the pack. Then I've got 2 Friday pack, Friday entries in the pack. Then I've got Ghost pack, and then I've got this pack and cult classic pack, and it's become too fragmented, and that sort of sub organization really isn't working well on the channel. It's confusing. I think what I'm going to do is kind of condense everything down into just commentaries on YouTube. It'll be just, I think it'll be like, because I'm going to be opening up the channel to more pop culture in general, maybe we'll have like, I'll have a sub, a folder called like R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast, and that'll be all our horror commentaries. And then I'll have like R-Rated Commentary, and then I'll have just the channel content, which will be, like more just in sync with the zeitgeist, which is what's happening on YouTube right now. Like, movie reviews, political commentary, a little bit, not a whole lot, but just a little bit, if it crosses over into pop culture. Comics, the things that I like, the things that I'm interested in, and so the channel's going to grow, and so I'm actually kind of reconceiving the whole channel artistically and what it's going to feel like and look like, and I really want it to be a reflection of what my life is here and now. Not what I think you guys want to see necessarily, which a little bit important to me. I mean, I want to make it an appealing product for you to listen to. But how does it reflect myself as a human being right now? And so I've been working up some artistic concepts to repackage R-Rated show, to change it from R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast to R-Rated show. And I've got some really great things cooking. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot more clean. And hopefully it will bump up our subscriptions a little bit. Who knows? Maybe we can go from 310 subs to 800 subs in the time that we got left. Maybe we'll even reach 1,000 so I can monetize my shit. And do live streaming and all that great stuff. I mean, I love live streaming, and I'm so excited to start doing more live streaming with the Revival House dudes and my friends at Horophilia and stuff. And so it's just, I want to fucking smash this fucking shit wide open. There's so much more potential there. You know, like R-rated horror commentary podcast was my baby, is my little egg. You know, and I've been nesting it and growing it, and I feel like a chick. You know, it's like that scene from fucking Jurassic Park. You know, come on, you can do it, you can do it. You know, I really feel like R-rated horror, or just R-rated in general, is starting to blossom into something, and then we start getting random subs all the time, every day, new sub, every day, new sub. And I used to have to go out there and like literally like, you know, ask for subs, say, hey, come out and join the show. Or I would go out to horror conventions and literally hand out paper flyers to people about the show, and you know, try to tell people. And if I got 1 or 2 subs out, I'd be like, yes. And now it's like every day sub, you know, and then I sometimes get 5 to 10 subs a day or something, and it's starting to grow, it's starting to snowball, and now that we're starting to get some momentum, and you know, getting more potential to reach people, I want to grow the show into something better. And so yeah, so it's been a little period of pause where, like, you know, I've had personal things in my life going on, and then I've also been kind of re-strategizing R-rated a little bit. And believe me, at the end of the day, you guys will be happier for it, because I think it'll be a better channel. And all you guys that are subbed right now, all 300 of you, believe me, I'm so grateful that you've been so loyal. And I know that, you know, the David Cappers, the Omegas out there, the Travises, all the people who normally comment, and especially my friends over at our at Revival, who always support me and believe in the potential of this channel. I really fucking appreciate it. But, you know, I want to break this thing out into a bigger echelon, a bigger forum for me to play with. So, you know, maybe at some point I can actually start make some money off this shit. Not that that's like the most important thing ever, but, you know, I'm a capitalist, man. I want to make money. I want to make money off the creative things I do, the creative things I spend time working on. Now, that being said, most of you guys know that I am a aspiring comic book artist. I have, you know, a lot of time invested into my art career, and I have new things in the works, which is really, really exciting. A new birth, a new comic book coming out, an Indiegogo campaign coming on the horizon, and I have another YouTuber who's fantastically talented writer, I think. I kind of snatched her up early because I was like, you know, you really have good ideas. You're very creative, and I want to work with you. And she really seemed to be lacking any committed talent in terms of artistically, who would be willing to shackle themselves to her for, you know, an extended period of time, meaning, you know, really commit to doing a project and following through and doing all the hard little steps along the way to make a comic book happen. And I was like, you know what, I want to collaborate with this person. I think they have a lot of potential, and we can grow our YouTube channels together. It just makes sense. So I hitched my wagon to her, and she's got, you know, about 10 to 15,000 subs. I'm not going to announce who it is yet, because we agreed that we would wait and make an announcement later when we have more stuff done and a little bit more of a scaffold around our little project and everything. But I think she's really talented. She's a great YouTube commentator and a really talented artist. And it's going to be amazing. I'm super excited. This year is going to be fucking awesome. So I'm also like working on that too, which is taking away a little bit of my time. You know, I don't have as much time to just kind of sit around doing spur of the moment commentaries. And I'm kind of bummed. I miss it. You know, it's good to miss it a little bit, you know, like, absence makes the heart grow fonder. And, you know, sometimes, you know, I was doing these commentaries and it's just kind of like, you know, it becomes a very routine thing. Set up the mic, get everybody on Skype, and then shoot your mouth off, and then it's over, and you're like, oh, I gotta edit this shit together. It's not exciting. It's not fun. Even though the content is still good because we hold the quality, it's just kind of like, And then it's just another cycle. Oh, let's pick a movie. Let's get to Emma. I need a little break, to be honest with you, after doing commentaries for, pretty hardcore for the last couple of years. Commentaries were my way into podcasting. It was the only way I could see getting into podcasting in a comfortable way, because I didn't really know myself as a podcaster. I didn't really know what I had to say or how to speak into a mic or how to keep a conversation going. Like, I remember when I first started doing the show with solo commentaries, and granted, some of them aren't very good. It was a learning curve for me, but some of the best, like, rated and the most views that I've had on my channel are my solo commentaries. Especially with the schlock movies that I've done and with the Scream Queens and stuff. Like, those get the most hits, And I understand that it has a lot to do with the chicks in the flicks, the fucking Scream Queens and stuff. But, I get results. I pick the movies. I do the commentaries by myself. So it's just interesting because as many guests as I've had on the show, interviews and all that, it's just like the schlocky movie solo commentary I do gets the most hits. And it's just, you have to take that information into, consideration when you're trying to build more content and building off of what you've done. So I'll be definitely doing more schlocky solo commentaries, believe me. Murder Weapon is still in progress. I think I've actually done... By the way, if you haven't seen Murder Weapon, it's an 80s movie with Linnea Quigley. I guess technically it's a horror movie, but it's a little bit more like crime drama. It's a bad movie. I mean, it's got some really crazy effects in it, but it's really long stretches of nothing. But I'm working on a commentary for that. I've actually done 2 commentaries for it, and I just haven't hit that sweet spot. I just haven't liked anything I've done. It's really hard to do a commentary for that when there's these long stretches of nothing going on. I really need something to talk about. And I guess like the 2 times I've done it, I really haven't had anything. So third time will be the charm. I'll get that Murder Weapon commentary out. Got a Sleepaway commentary coming out with Nick Utam from World Class Bullshitters. And I just also want to say thank you so much to Nick. Nick's essentially a part of this show. I mean, he's becoming a regular host now, And I value his segments on the show so much. And I really love the World Class Bullshitters. They're a really great pop culture YouTube podcast. I'm going to sneeze. Sorry, guys. It's allergy season. I hope I didn't sneeze into the microphone too much. Oh. Anyway, Nick and World Class Bullshitters with Jeff and Kendo Slice and Dion and all those guys. They're so much fun. I'm a Patreon supporter. I have been for a year now. For $1, just $1, you can go over there and get their commentaries and their after hours stuff. And it's so much fun. I mean, they're just normal dudes. Who understand pop culture the way that we do. They're non-shill all the way. And they have great content. They're fun. They built a culture around them, and they love comics. And I learned so much by listening to their podcast. So I highly recommend going over to the World Class Bullshitters on YouTube and subscribing and becoming a subscription member to their Patreon for $1. I think it goes from 1 to 5 to 10 or something like that. But I've been like a $1 subscriber, and I've get way more than for $1, way more than I deserve as a listener, for sure. I mean, they're very generous with their Patreon stuff. So go over there and check that out. I highly recommend. And speaking of Patreon stuff, I think last year I did a top 10 fan commentaries. And I think I'm going to come out with a top 10 now that I'm finally making more money and I have some more disposable income. I'm thinking about doing a top 10, maybe, I don't know, 10's a lot, maybe like a top 5 Patreons. I'm gonna subscribe to a bunch of different stuff and check it out and see what the content's like, and then report back on it. That's like an idea I've had going for a while. So you better not steal that shit. But I'm a member of like 3 or 4 different ones now, and I've been members of other ones in the past, and I've canceled it because I didn't really think the value was there. And I start to think, there's really something, review wise there in terms of like subscribing to these people, asking for your money, and then getting something in return. What is the, what is the value I'm getting for the money I'm spending every month? Like if I'm $6, okay, if I'm a $5 subscriber to somebody's Patreon, at the end of the year, that's $60 fucking I spend. 60 for extra content, exclusive content, or early this, early that, or, subscriber only type stuff. And I really want to talk about that. So I've had good experiences and bad experiences with YouTubers and their Patreon and stuff. So it might be a learning experience for me. It might be something that will teach me about Patreon. And I don't know, what is it? It's Patreon. Why do I keep seeing Patreon? I overthink these things. I should just... I overthink it. But I should really start, thinking about setting up some, Patreon content as well. Because there's going to be a slew of content coming real soon from our rated show. So there's that to think about. But, man, what else? There's been so much. Kansas City Crypticon... The Revival House guys, BTM, Behind the Mask podcast, we had our like ill-fated Vegas trip we planned last year. Oh, we wanted to do it so bad. Me and Aaron have hung out before in New York City, and really enjoyed each other's company and recorded some podcasts. And we went to a Tommy Wiseau screening of The Room and just had a good time. And after that, we were like, we were some crazy podcast of some crazy commentary we were on. We all hatched this idea to go to Vegas together, and unfortunately, it all fell apart. The conviction was there, but the funds, I think, were a little bit short, and timing was bad and stuff. So we kind of canceled that trip at the last second, and that was a real bummer because I was really looking forward to it. But in its place, a phoenix rising out of the ashes, if you will, was the idea of us all meeting at Kansas City Crypticon. Now, Revival House will be there. That's July 12th, I think. July 12th through 14. The weekend of July 12th, Kansas City Crypticon. Revival House will be there with a table. I think you've got Aaron, Zach, Mac, and Riverman. Todd will be there, and I'm supposed to go, but I'm just looking at the tickets, man, and the whole trip is just going to be so expensive for me to go. I really want to go. It's just that to go, I have to spend about $600-700 and then miss work as well. And I just took a trip recently. I just took a vacation. I'm really trying to be present in my own life and get shit done here. And the timing is like, if it was just in August, maybe it would be a little bit different. But I'm not ruling it out completely. These guys know I'm on the fence. I would love, $350 isn't bad, but I also have to chip in for the hotel and the table. And I also have to have entertainment money when I'm there and traveling expenses as well. Aside from the plane ticket, like the lifts and the shuttle tickets from the Kansas City International to get to the fucking venue, which is pretty far away from the airport. It's a lot. And I'm also in the midst of like a new job and, creative projects, and I'm trying to get these podcasts out and all this. It's a little bit much, but anyway. That's what, maybe it might happen. I'm not saying I really want it. I really want to be there because I really want to meet Zach and Riverman and Mac. And I know we would have an amazing time. And it would give us a lot to talk about for months on end. I mean, it'd be a gold mine in terms of content. So I'm not saying no. I'm just saying. See, this is why I gotta have I need to monetize my channel, and I need to get a Patreon going so I can fucking get some, it's essentially where the channel pays for itself. I mean, there's dudes out there who make $1,200 a month just on their YouTube, channel and stuff, and that's brilliant. I love the capitalism, the making your own way in the world. It's an incredible thing. Anybody can do it. I love that you can start with nothing, a shitty little commentary channel, and grow it into something. Anywho, getting to the good part, we're halfway through this junk mail episode, but as is custom, I'd like to go through listener, I guess they're like comments on the YouTube channel. And I've had some backing up, man. Some people have been commenting, and it's been a while since the last junk mail episode. So let's talk about the listener comments, for better or for worse, what they are. This goes all the way back to 5 months ago. I think when we posted the episode number 48, The Shining, by Stanley Kubrick, which had Wizelle and Zach. That is a classic fucking episode, man. Probably one of the best episodes we've ever done on this channel. I love to go back and listen to that episode, and I usually hate listening to myself, but it's so much Wizelle, so much Zach, that I can just enjoy 3 hours of them riffing off each other. It's amazing. It's such good content. But the Lately Horror Show says, great Josh. Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks, Dino. That's Dino, my friend over at Lately Horror Show. Thanks. He's always been a supporter of the show, and he and I are friends. In terms of the horror host world, we don't really know each other personally, but I like his content a lot, and he's friends with my friend Eric from the Death Twitch, and so occasionally we cross paths. We haven't collaborated yet, but I would love to. We've been talking about it for a while, but dude, he says, great Josh. And I say, thanks for the positive comment there, dude. And next is also on episode 48, The Shining, from Adrian Mendoza, the Omega, as they know him over at Revival House. He says, funny commentary. I love Shelley Duvall. He gets a timestamp of 145 through 204. And he says, that was a great shit story from Zach. The documentary Room 237 has insane theories. I've seen that documentary, Room 237. It's interesting. It's a little reaching. It's making content out of all these, like, it's a documentary that's making content out of all these, like, crazy fan theories about the movie because people read into shit. It's a conspiracy theory movie, essentially. It's entertaining. It'll give you a different perspective on The Shining, but it's kind of horseshit, honestly. It's just, it's just something for you to sink your teeth into if you need some more Shining content. But and I agree with you, dude. I love Shelley Duvall. Olive Oil, she's. I always thought she was kind of sexy in a weird way, like. Not traditionally beautiful, but she has those big brown eyes and just kind of, soft, demure sort of presence about her. And she's a great actress, and she really added a lot to the movies that she was in. And I feel really bad for her in a situation that she's dealing with now with her dementia and stuff. And so, I really enjoy doing The Shining with those dudes, and I really love Shelley Duvall. And thanks for your comment, dude, and thanks for listening. Let's see. David Capper on episode 48, The Shining. Great work. This team-up was light years better than that Justice League debacle, so I would pay good money to hear this combo again. If I could make some suggestions of classic horror flicks that I would like to hear you guys commentate on, They would be The Omen, Wicker Man, the original, of course, because yeah, and Rosemary's Baby. You guys struck the right balance of fandom and critique without falling into the trap of just saying this movie is awesome for the entire running time, because it's hard with this film. There's so many crazy theories to sift through, but there's a rich tapestry to view. So good job, David. Dude, thank you so much. Commentaries are weird. Like, sometimes they work real well, and sometimes they just don't really, I was just a fan of podcasts and commentaries myself, and I always kind of recognized the commentaries I thought were really good, like the Banana Laser commentaries, the Skeleton Crew commentaries. And the reason why I knew that they worked was because of the chemistry between the people. And even if you have a good lineup of people, like let's say me and Wazell and Zach did another commentary on a different movie. Let's say we did one on the Justice League or something, like it depending on the night, depending on the mood that we're in, depending on what's going on in our lives, it might not be a great commentary. So a lot of times it's good commentaries are just lightning in a bottle, and all you can do is just roll the dice and hope that it goes well. And sometimes you come up with something really great, and I'm so proud of, I would say, probably about half of our content. I mean, and I think that's saying a lot. Like, I think all of our content is mostly pretty good. There's a couple stinkers. Most of the stuff is really excellent, and that's, has a lot to do with Zach and Wazell and all the other great dudes that have been on my show. Nick, of course. Nick's an amazing commentator on movies and stuff, and a great reviewer and interviewer and stuff. So, yeah, thank you so much for being a regular listener, and thank you for the feedback and taking the time, dude. I really appreciate it. Next up, Marty McCann says, I definitely love me some Linnea Quigley. This is on episode 33, Nightmare Sisters. I get so many comments on this fucking movie, and this is like my highest thumbs up YouTube video. Maybe it's because it's got the video with it, I don't know, but people love this movie. I love it too. I love this movie so much, and I love the classic Scream Queens, the trio: Linnea Quigley, Brink Stevens, and Michelle Bauer. And everybody knows Brink Stevens is my favorite, but it really shows her off gloriously in this movie. But Nightmare Sisters is an amazing movie. I definitely love it too, bro. Thank you so much for listening, and yeah, I expect a lot more comments on that one. Getting on to episode number 49, Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom with the World Class Bullshitters. Dino comes back. He says, from Lately a Horror Show, says, I can't wait to listen tonight. And I just said, I hope you enjoyed it, dude. That was a classic fucking episode because it was a little something different than classic horror. I mean, Indiana Jones, in the commentary, I say, let's make a case for this being a horror movie. There's people getting their hearts ripped out, faces melting and shit. It's a crazy, dark, sinister, sort of sadistic movie, and they were great co-hosts. Again, lightning in a bottle. This is why I like to have guests on the show, because they change things up. And so David says, David Capper rings in again. He says, awesome team up. Will NAFTA subscribe to World Class Bullshitters? I think he says we'll have to definitely subscribe to World Class Bullshitters. You're talking during the third act about Aquaman, film scores, and franchise development was very refreshing and frank. I think more of those Collider-style channels could benefit from that sort of discussion. That being said, I would pay good money to hear you guys comment on the rail cart sequence directly and the freeing of the child workers, i.e. the miniature work, and possibly use of rear screen projection. Still good talk. I really enjoyed just rediscovering Temple with you guys. Well, thanks, dude. Sorry that I stumbled through that pretty. It's always hard to read shit in somebody else's words, but thanks, man. I really appreciate that. There's this movie was such a gold mine of things to talk about, especially with guys in my age group. We just didn't cover nearly, I would say we covered maybe a fourth of the shit that, like when I was rewatching Temple of Doom to do this commentary, I had so many thoughts of things I wanted to talk about, and we never even got to it because there's a natural, organic flow to the rhythm of, enjoying the experience of watching the movie and trying to think of trivia and things to bring up and talk about the movie, and things got skipped over. And that's why I would definitely do another commentary on Temple of Doom on somebody else's channel, because it would give me a chance to bring up shit that I missed. So, great points. That rail cart sequence and the child workers and stuff like that. Yeah, the miniature work was amazing. The practical effects in this movie were incredible. It's a special movie. I don't know why it gets shit on, but Temple of Doom is an incredible work of 80s feature film. Also on episode 49, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom, Adrian Mendoza, the Omega, he says, angry, bitter nerd commentary. Totally different 180 comment from the last one. I guess he didn't like what we had to say. I don't really know why, because we fucking love Temple of Doom and Indiana Jones. I don't think we were angry. I think there was a lot of celebration going on in there. I don't know if maybe we were criticizing something else during the commentary. It's actually been a little bit since I've listened to it. I don't remember 2 hours of what we talked about, but I don't remember the whole thing, at least. But I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you didn't like it. I thought it was a great commentary. But thanks for commenting. Also on Temple of Doom, we've got Ant-Man. What I loved about the Temple of Doom and the Emperor's Tomb game was that they both established that not all of Indy's adventures involve a desert location or the Nazis or even Marcus and Sala. One thing that always bothered me about Last Crusade was that it was basically Raiders again, and it seemed like a missed opportunity to further expand Indy's world. It is a good movie, but it was always my least favorite part of my always felt like I could just be rewatching Raiders. Goes on to say, I actually think that Emperor's Tomb would have been a great film. And actually, if the franchise had been Raiders, Emperor's Tomb, Temple, and then Crusade, that would be perfect to me. You have Raiders, then 2 prequel films that expand Indy's world, then Crusade, which could bring everything full circle. And then I wouldn't have minded as much having Crusade been a repeat of Raiders, because we would have already had 2 dark and more exotic films in the middle. It still bugs me when people slag off Temple. It was the only film in the series to actually further explore the different kind of adventures Indy has. The other 2 films, the 4th one, never happened. Just make all of his adventures look the same. I.e., he has to face the Nazis. He has to be in the desert at some point. He has to be after a Christian Jewish artifact. Wow. Great comment, dude. Thank you so much, and thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. Yeah, man, you were really listening, and you really have a good handle on the Indiana Jones property. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Temple of Doom is amazing, because I always thought of Indiana Jones trilogy. I'm just going to speak to the first 3 movies, because I really think they're the only good ones. I don't like Kingdom of the Crystal Skull really at all. But my enjoyment of them definitely goes in order. So I like Raiders the most. I like Temple of Doom after that, and I like Last Crusade as the third. Now, I like them all a lot. I really do. But you're right. The third movie definitely tried to harken back to the Raiders vibe. I think it might be because they were introducing Sean Connery into it, and they were like, oh, we need to put this on more stable ground. Like, we need to have this, if we're going to explore Indiana's dad, we need to have it in an environment that, I think that Indiana Jones's fans will be maybe a little bit more comfortable with. And I feel like maybe there was some backlash to the way Temple of Doom came out. I love Temple of Doom. It's a juicy fucking movie. Now, I'm a huge horror fan, so that probably plays into my enjoyment of Temple of Doom, but I like Crusade as well. I really do. I really like the play between him and Sean Connery a lot. But it definitely is a Raiders sort of callback, and nothing wrong with that. But Raiders and Temple, my two favorites. So, oh, my phone's blowing up. Okay. So thank you, Ant-Man. Really appreciate that. Going to episode number 38, The Return of Swamp Thing. Me and Nick recorded this commentary right after we did the interview with the director, Jim Wynorski, a classic Hollywood schlock director. Indica Garin says, fucking clickbait. Well, I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's called R-Rated Horror Commentary Podcast, so it's pretty obvious that we're doing commentaries on these movies. But I'm going to give you a thumbs up because, hey, I mean, I don't know what's clickbaity about it. I mean, if we had promised you a commentary on the Swamp Thing, Return of Swamp Thing, and we had given you a long commercial for a shitty fucking cell phone game, then I would understand. But we gave you a commentary for Swamp Thing too, so right after we did an interview with Jim Wynorski, the director, so I don't know what your fucking problem is. Honestly, dude, I mean, that was an awesome fucking 2-pack of fucking commentaries or podcasting right there. Moving on. Episode number 33, Nightmare Sisters, again, shows up. Only 257 says, saw this film on USA Up All Night when I was 8 in 1992. And I just say, hell yeah, man, that's the best way to experience those types of movies. You know what I mean? Like, you're eating your fruit roll-ups, maybe you're diddling yourself a little bit, I mean, you're just like, whoa. It just blows your mind. Also, Night Hammer Hero, he chimes in. He says, I seen it, I think, in 1989 on USA Up All Night starring Rhonda Shearer. I jacked off. Beautiful. See? He knows what's up. I jacked off to the whipping part. And the whipping part, I think he means when they get paddled. And hell yeah, dude. I probably did too. Great movie. Great coming of... it's a great movie for young adolescent males. It's a fun horror movie. I totally agree. It's good on you, man. Right on. Thank you so much for listening. Thanks for your comment. I really appreciate it. Oh, let's see. Somebody else commented on that as well. Deb C says, USA Up All Night. Yeah, that's the Rhonda Shearer. I used to watch a lot of Rhonda Shearer, USA Up All Night. She would go, USA Up All Night. And that was her sort of, that was her catchphrase. It was great. Loved it. Moving on to the next one. Episode number 50, Bird Box, Netflix. And the Omega, Adrian Mendoza chimes in. I enjoyed Bird Box. Poor Ernie Hudson. Who knew that it was so difficult to make a Ghostbusters movie? I recommend Fire, the greatest party that never happened. The Fire documentary is pretty incredible, and I recommend watching it. There are scenes that will make you laugh, that will make you cry, and one scene that will shock you. It's streaming on Netflix. Yeah, dude. I saw the Fire documentary, and it really was riveting. Amazing scam these guys had going on. Netflix, they come out with some juggernauts every now and then. Bird Box definitely hit the zeitgeist a little bit there. I think it was a little bit of a shill project. People really were sucking its dick. I think that Netflix over-promoted it. I think that if it had been anybody else but Sandra Bullock in the movie, it would have just been another shitty movie. Yeah. Hit it and quit it. It just really wasn't that great, but I wanted to do something really different on the channel. I want to do a really right now movie because usually I do 80s stuff and I love 80s movies, 80s, 90s. And I wanted to do something really modern. And Aaron and I were just up one night. I think we had just done an episode of his show. What was it? The Deep End or something. And we were just, let's blow off some steam. We're already on the mic. Let's blow off some steam. Let's have some fun. Let's talk about Bird Box. And that's what we did. And so thank you for listening, Adrian Mendoza. And hope you enjoyed it. Going back to episode 33, Nightmare Sisters, again, a comment from Sir Chaos the Scarecrow says, back in 1994, I came across this movie in a movie rental store. Me and my homeboy was in a gang we started, and so we was definitely feeling the artwork on the cover and getting off on the movie. Great beer movie. Although other commentary is not good because you show only movie cover. I'm literally reading this verbatim. Although other commentary is not good because you show only a movie cover with you guys talking, but I want to watch movie too, so this is more better with movie showing. Summer Party Massacre was only commentary, was a letdown. I want movie. Okay. I wish I could show. I really wish. I mean, anybody who does movie commentaries, fan commentaries, knows that we would much rather post the movie and the commentary together because we know that you guys love to watch the movie along with the commentary, and it's more convenient. And believe me, every time I can do it and get away with it, I do. And I've gotten some hiccups along the way where I've gotten content strikes because I basically ripped the movie and I threw it on my YouTube channel. You can't do that. Now, if the movie's small enough and it's obscure enough, you can get away with it because there's nobody chaperoning the rights to the movie. Nobody gives a shit, and so therefore YouTube doesn't give a shit. And that's the case with Nightmare Sisters. And, dude, believe me, I would love to do that. And there's certain platforms you can get away with it and some that you can't. But unfortunately, the way things are is like you're going to have to take a little responsibility to get the movie and sync it up with us. And I do that for tons of commentaries I listen to. I do it for Revival House. I do it for Banana Laser. I do it for Skeleton Crew. I much prefer to watch the movie with the commentary. I like to enjoy the experience. I like to see the visuals when people are talking about the scenes and all that stuff. And so the idea is that you're going to be watching the movie with my commentary, with Wizel's commentary, with Nick's commentary, Zach's commentary, whoever it is. You're going to go through the trouble. If not, at least, hopefully, we make a good podcast that you can listen to. And if you see the movie enough times, you can imagine the movie in your head while you're listening. So I just want to give you a thumbs up on that comment, dude. Thank you so much for, giving the show a try. And, I really hope that you give us, some more of your listening attention and time. And, let us grow on you a little bit. Okay. Episode number 50, Bird Box. David Capper says, great commentary, great team up. I really enjoyed the Ghostbusters chat. Yeah, we went into a Ghostbusters chat. I think me and Aaron were bored, man, and we just started talking about Ghostbusters shit because I think it came out that Ivan Reitman's son was going to be directing the new Ghostbusters movies, Ghostbusters 3. And so we went off a tangent on that. So, yeah, there's definitely that to look forward to if you listen to the episode. And that Roadhouse commentary must happen. It happened. On my other podcast, Hard to Kill podcast, we did Roadhouse. That was my pick. And that commentary came out fucking fantastic. If you haven't heard it yet, go over to Revival House. It's on their YouTube channel. Listen to me and Neil and Alex talk about Roadhouse. It was a lot of fun. Sandra Bullock is a lovely woman. Her and I were married for 3 months in 1992, and although the divorce was brutal, painfully drawn out, and expensive, we still chat at Christmas. But yeah, Bird Box seems to be a boring box, much like our marriage. Oh man, Capper, man, you were married to Sandra Bullock in the 90s? That's fucking amazing. I bet fucking you pounded that fucking Bird Box a little bit, didn't you? I'm fucking jealous, man. I would love to hear some stories about that. Maybe you can write a song about it. But dude, thank you so much for commenting on episode number 50. God damn, there's a lot of comments. I'm going to get to them all. Almost at an hour. We're going to get there. Okay. Episode number 32, Freddy versus Jason. This is like one of my fucking favorite episodes me and Wazelle did. This is right before he got married. It was just, I think it was a summer time commentary we did, and it was just me and Wazelle were just on. And the production of the show was really good. Thank you. Patting myself on the back. Michael Sorrells says, "It funny, same action play Freddy's." It funny, same action play Freddy's. It's funny, some action. It's funny, some. It's funny, same action plays Freddy. I don't know what that means, dude, but I'll give you a thumbs up. Thank you for commenting. I think that's a positive comment. Episode number 43, Halloween 2, TV cut with Wazelle and Neil. Super Mario says, where I can buy TV cut Halloween 2 1981. Dude, you can't buy it. I don't know if you can buy it, dude. There might be... I don't know if it came out on like a weird DVD release or something. It doesn't come to mind. I got the copy from my friend Eric at the... what do you call it? The fucking... Oh, hang on. Eric at the Death Twitch did a commentary for it. And he sent me a copy of the Halloween cut so that I could watch along with his commentary because he knew I didn't have it. And I fell in love with it. And so I just decided like a year later to do our own commentary on it because me and Wazelle were talking about, we did Halloween 2. It was October. And then we were like, let's do Halloween 2. And then Wazelle came up with the idea to do, let's do Halloween 2 TV cut right after it. So that's what we did. And Neil came on, and it was a lot of fun. And we really had a blast doing that. So where can you buy it? I would say you could probably buy it at a horror convention somewhere. It's probably on a bootleg DVD. Or ask around to your horror community friends. Maybe somebody's got a copy of it they can send you on Dropbox. Moving on. Going back to episode number 32, Freddy vs. Jason. RB Padawan. RB Padawai says, hate it. Too many talkings. It takes a long time to start the movie. Hate it. I'd rather starve waiting the food than hearing you talking. Just start the movie. I guess, I mean, shit, that's valid. Yeah, like I said, it's a horror commentary it's a fan commentary podcast, so we don't just show the movie. We most of the time don't show the movie. So you're basically complaining because you misunderstood what this podcast was about. But I feel you, man. I feel you. You want to watch Freddy vs. Jason. You're on YouTube. I mean, most people by this point know that, a big studio like New Line Cinema wouldn't just post their movie on YouTube without charging for it. And that any YouTuber that posted it posted it for free would probably be taken down within like a day or two. But it's cool. You missed the point of the podcast. I understand. Thanks for commenting. I'll give you a thumbs up anyway. Going back to episode number 33, Nightmare Sisters. EdStar83 says, damn, I didn't know about this movie either. I would have wore out the VHS as a kid. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, this is definitely boner material for a fucking kid, man. You know, an adolescent male. Fucking great movie. Great comment. Thank you so much. I totally agree with you. Episode 49, Indiana Jones Temple of Doom. Gee, was that a popular episode? I can't tell. Dr. Coffin Nails says, great commentary. In my opinion, if you watch Gungadin 1939, you understand where they were coming from. For those that don't like Temple as much. So yeah, dude, you're totally right. I mean, goes back to George Lucas's influences. And I think Gungadin was definitely like, one of his huge influences. I mean, it's practically a fucking ripoff. So yeah, you're absolutely right, dude. Thumbs up on that comment for sure. Thank you so much for chiming in. And I actually want to go back and watch Gungadin. It's been a while. It's 1939. Probably it's a black and white movie. So next comment, episode number 37, Sorority Babes and the Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama. Marty McCann says, thanks for commenting again, dude. Love this movie. An awesome classic. Brink, Linnea, and Michelle are the best ever. Love them. They are so hot. Yes, you get me. It's that simple. I just love Linnea, Brink, and Michelle. They were so fucking hot. They were so different from each other. So hot. They were such a flavor pack of sexy whore chicks. And yeah, Brink's my favorite. But I love seeing them in a movie together. And fuck yeah. Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama, while not as while it's not as titillating as, say, Nightmare Sisters, was a fucking fun movie. I think they made Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama, and with the leftover money they had in a leftover film, they made Nightmare Sisters. It's amazing how that works. And last but not least, most recent comment on my commentary was episode number 47, Night of the Living Babes. I bought a copy of it from an old video store that... Oh, sorry, wait. This is from Rob Sandage. This is literally like just 4 hours ago. So thank you so much for your comment, dude. It says, I bought a copy of it from an old video store that was going out of business. I first watched it in 1993 when I first got out of the Navy. Oh, another Navy guy, dude. Hoo-yah. I was in the Navy too. So nice to run into a brother out here. I found Night of the Living Babes at an old video store that went out of business in the mid-90s, and then later found a copy of it in the late 90s that I bought for cheap. I have met Linnea Quigley at a convention. She smiled when I mentioned to her that my first two films that I ever watched, and probably beat off to, was USA Up All Night back in the 80s. I saw Nightmare Sisters and Sorority Babes at Slimeball Bowl-O-Rama. I am friends with Brink Stevens on Facebook. Michelle Bauer is hard to locate because I am friends with people who have worked with Michelle Bauer in films. Michelle is very hard to get a hold of. Back in the mid-2000s, I was friends with Connie Woods on MySpace. I asked her about this film, and she never had anything positive to say about it and claimed that it would never be redone or sequeled. I stopped logging onto MySpace about 10 or 11. Yeah, you and everybody else on planet Earth. Stopped logging into MySpace about 10, 11 years ago and lost contact with Miss Woods. Well, yeah, dude. I mean, I'm friends with some of these Scream Queens too, and the thing about it is that you have to take into account their experience filming the movie and where they were in their life, and we see it, the final product, and then we get to watch it from our couch and scratch our balls and drink a beer and goof at it, but they might have lived through an experience of filming with a director or other actresses or actors, and maybe they were just in a shitty time in their life, or maybe they had high hopes for the movie and it turned out completely different than what they thought it was going to be, and they just thought it was shit. And so, we just have to accept their opinions about these movies for what they are and appreciate, that they made an effort and it came out the way it is. And as far as like, commingling with these actresses and stuff, I always just say, I just come at them as a fan. I don't ever try to get too attached to them as people. They're not my friend. They're actors and actresses who know that I'm a fan of them, and if they give me their time to make some comments or do an interview, I always really appreciate that. I mean, I consider them a friend of the show, but we're not personally friends, you know? Maybe if we had multiple encounters over the course of years or something and we got to know each other as people, that would be different, but I like, as I like to tell my friend Brattlesnake, it's okay to be just a fan and admire them from afar. And so yeah, I love these old Scream Queens, man. And Michelle, I met her one time at Chiller Fest in New Jersey. I think about 3 or 4 years ago. She signed a picture for me. We talked about chainsaw hookers. Very sweet, very sexual woman. She exudes this amazing sexuality about her, and I would just like, ugh, holy shit. I mean, not ooh, but like, whoa, you know. Very powerful thing. I haven't met Linnea and I haven't met Brink. I would love to meet both those girls, and I'll definitely make a concerted effort to meet them, as well as Felissa Rose, who's super sweet, and you know, if I get the chance, I'll fucking take it. But dude, Rob Sandage, thank you so much for commenting. Thanks so much for listening. Thanks so much for subscribing. And that's it. That's all the listener feedback. And we're at 106. So now we're a little over an hour. I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. Guys, great things coming to the channel. Thank you so much for listening. You know, I just really hope this channel continues to do great things, and I hope you enjoy it. And believe me, I'll be out there. R-rated will be doing stuff. And I'm sorry for a little bit of a lull, but life happens. I mean, you have to understand that, you know, there's Josh, James, the R-rated host persona, and then there's like me that has to live the rest of my life, you know. And I love R-rated. I'll be doing more stuff, and I'll be, you know, editing together some great shit for you real soon. And yeah, I love you guys. Stay awesome. Stay R-rated. Cheers. Later. Goodbye.